Moving on from leading, tracking, and kerning, we can now look at some font combinations. In this left menu, we can see the text option, and we've got the quick text to add in, and this is set to our brand font if we're on a paid plan with Canva. So if I wanted to add some body text in, it would drop it in at a fixed size. Same with headings. Not sure what's quite happened there, but we can stretch the bounding box out for it to fit. So that's quite handy, and you can customize those on paid plans, as I mentioned. Say, for example, you are struggling for inspiration for a particular idea and you want to see what Canva has available. This is where we can look at the combinations. So I'm going to go down, duplicate that one. Move this content down just in case we need it a little bit later. And we can have a look at some of these combinations and see if any of it will fit with our particular design. I'm going to select this one. We've got a script or handwritten style font along with a sans serif font below. And as you can see already, when we scale up or down, everything is set to be centrally aligned here with nice even spacing around it, so we can enlarge and reduce it. But the problem with font combinations is they're presets. What if we want to left align these? This is what we're going to cover in the remainder of this chapter. So first of all, we can see that there's a bounding box here and a dotted bounded box below for the subheading. What I can do first of all is right click and ungroup. We can see that these are two text blocks that have been joined together or grouped together and presented as options for us. We can now left align the two boxes individually. And we can just nudge it so we can get that same line there. One thing I can see here is that the text for both of these goes right up to the edge of the bounding box. Sometimes, as with this one here, depending on the font, you might have an extra couple of pixels. So that's why, if you recall, in a previous chapter, we adjusted those manually to fit. We don't need to do that here. We can see that there's a nice tight line to the left of both of those. I can, at this stage, reduce the bounding boxes if you're really fussy over getting the same widths on both boxes. It does look a little bit nicer when editing. And then we can right click again and group once more. Alternatively, we've got the group option in this toolbar at the top. Doesn't matter which approach you take as long as it works for you. Okay, so we've got our two boxes grouped once again. That's all it is to it. But say, for example, you wanted to put in this first paragraph into this text block here. This is where it might start to go a little bit weird. That's because we're working within those bounded boxes. And the fact that as soon as we know that we've got two different text blocks grouped together, which allows us to move it around, the moment we start changing the content, and especially when we increase the number of characters or words, that's going to change quite a bit. So what we see on the left here is no longer what we're getting in our actual design, and this happens very frequently. So again, we can ungroup, and we can start making some design choices. Maybe we're going to increase the width. So we still want nice even spacing around, but at the same time, we want to give this a little bit more room so it doesn't take up so much space vertically. And then we can have our paragraph then below. For some reason, it was selecting more than one font, but we know it was this one here. And then we can choose the same font then for the paragraph. We do this a lot with web design, where we lead into a page with a heading 1 or main heading, then a subheading to introduce you to the content. Often it might be a little bit shorter than this, and then we get into the content itself. It gives it some nice balance visually. It also adds a little bit more visual appeal to the overall design. So even by just tweaking that, we can see all of a sudden how we can take a preset here, which is a font combination, and make it our own. Okay, I'm going to change my title to Working with Fonts, and this is another really good example. It's even more so when we're talking about large headings. We can see here this just isn't fit for purpose at the moment. We've got the G drop down a line. We've got then the Within fonts then just kind of floating there. So the first thing I'm going to do is just see what I need to do with the text block. Initially, I might just increase that bounding box so our working area is wider. But this is where we can go back to our spacing option now. And we can see this line spacing is really tight. So we can increase that a little bit. And we're trying to get it so it looks more balanced. So the fact that this loop on the H fits underneath the K, that works for me. And then our F and the G are working well as well. One thing we can see is the cheers was much easier. Another design decision is, do we want a longer multiple word heading, or do we just shorten it to fonts? So we'll try this first. I might just add a line in. Maybe something like a dashed line. Again, this is where having a brand toolkit really helps, because you can call upon some of your brand assets and bring them into play, fitting in with what you're working on elsewhere. Another option then, I could reduce that font size considerably. Of course, the number of items per row will change. And once again, reduce the bounding box once I've got it to the size that I want. So that's one option. We haven't even started adding in colors yet, but we can already see that there's a better balance with that. And we've used our font combinations to good effect. What I can do now is duplicate that, and I might try it one step further and actually just reduce it to fonts. Font is the key word here. This is the one that we need to get across. And there we go. I think that's got a little bit more clarity. It's easier to read. This type of script font is much better the shorter the content is. I can just show you how terrible it can look. If I try and put it in paragraph, almost unreadable at that size. So that's why font selection is really important. The shorter the header, the more playful you can get with your font selection.